speaking about his former teammate during their Manchester United days. And after a little over 10 years, Cristiano Ronaldo returns to Old Trafford, though we won't be able to see him at least until after the international break. A 36-year-old, still very much a talented player despite his age at this level. And of course, we want to hear the thoughts from both of our guests here today, Martin Keown and Martin O'Neill as well. And sentiments aside, now this when a lot of Manchester United fans have heard of this news, I've known some who actually cried of happy tears when this news first broke out. It's almost like Christmas coming early for Manchester United fans. It was quite a sensational turnaround within the span of 24, 48 hours when people thought he was actually going to go to the blue side of Manchester. But sentiments aside, Martin Keown, is this a good signing? Is this a progressive signing, or is it a step backwards? Because the likes of Paul Merson and Graham Souness seems to think this signing doesn't actually take them closer to winning a trophy.
You know, when I look at Solskjaer, he's a happy man tonight because he wins a game of football maybe he perhaps shouldn't win. But one by one, he's recruiting people into that building, winners, people that have won things, creating the right habit, the right mood, the right environment for his young players. And he brings Ronaldo into the building, and you think of the number of games he's been able to play. It's like he's almost played as many games as Arsene Wenger managed, over 1,100 games, closing in on 800 goals. It's phenomenal. 36 years of age, he's still playing every game, still the top goal scorer of the roundabout. So no, I think there's still something for him to offer, but it's what it does for the next group. He's got to try and integrate him into the team, and he will set the standards. He'll raise that bar through on the training ground. What he's achieved in the game, he still wants to keep winning. I think that's the right habit. He's in the DNA, of course. He's a legend already within the club, and he'll want to make things happen. And I think that's the right move, marketing-wise. You know, shirt sales, you name it. The interest is bubbling. The fans they can't wait to see him. But it's what he brings to the club, his habit of behaviour and his work ethic. And I still feel he's still got plenty to offer on the pitch.
Well, I completely see your point, Martin Keown, but just to play a bit of a devil's advocate here, I read a very interesting piece on the Daily Mail here today by Oliver Holt, the journalist, who seemed to suggest that this signing is the opposite. This signing is actually an admission of defeat, that instead of embracing and going for the best strikers who have succeeded Cristiano Ronaldo in the likes of Erling Haaland, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, they went for someone who's past his prime, so to say, and how it symbolises the fact that they can't seem to let go of that Sir Alex Ferguson era and just the failure to embrace the present and the future. They've gone backwards and picked someone from the past. Martin O'Neill.
Well, there's a lot to digest there in what
I'm just summarising it and paraphrasing it, but essentially,
no problem. I can understand. And did you say that was Oliver Holt, who's a very, very fine journalist? That's his particular viewpoint, and I do get that from that journalistic viewpoint. Martin touched on a little bit of what that Cristiano Ronaldo can bring to the football club. He can bring presence in the dressing room, and massive presence. I mean, and you saw De Gea saying when they asked him who was that there, as if to say, you know, everybody knows Ronaldo. Now he's 36, 37 years of age, whatever it is. He's got himself in really fantastic shape. He's still really fine. Solskjaer's talking about him playing up front more than anything else. They have had talisman in the past. In the recent past there, if you think about Ibrahimovic and you think about Cavani, who's still at the football club, and that championship has still eluded them. However, can Cristiano Ronaldo bring this to them? Is that what he's there for, to bring the championship? I'm sure it is. Here's the interesting point I think about this. If that's the case, and I see Oliver's viewpoint there about perhaps maybe not going for the big centre forwards who have got age on their side as well too. This is where I'm a little bit surprised that someone like Sancho, who's going to cost them £75 million, who is not a centre forward by any stretch of the imagination, plays in a wide position to come in and is more a goal maker than a goal scorer, can get the occasional goal, but certainly not going to score 25 in the season, maybe that was £75 million, and it's very early yet for me to say this here, but maybe that could have gone to trying to draw in someone like Haaland or the
Lewandowski.
Absolutely. No, the players. That's it. I think that Solskjaer mentioned that also that Cristiano Ronaldo, they hadn't even thought about it until about 8 or 10 days ago, really, that whether he was ever going to leave Juventus at all or not. So this has come here as a big thought. I think commercially it makes a great deal of sense. I still think that what it does do, as much as anything else, will it bring the title to Manchester United? Who knows? What it will do is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will have to really manage the situation there with big players who will not play on a regular basis who won't play every single week. So it will bring in a lot of his managerial skills to manage the whole setup there, and I think that will be as interesting as anything else. But for me as a player at Manchester United, would I like Cristiano Ronaldo to come in, even if he was in my position? Absolutely, because he's bringing everything to that dressing room again that he brought quite some years ago. And shall I cast my mind back a long, long time ago when Nottingham Forest were trying to win the title. We brought in Peter Shilton, magnificent goalkeeper who made a vast difference to our team. And I know that he didn't play in my position, but we were, everyone to a man, were absolutely delighted because we thought we were going to go somewhere. Cristiano Ronaldo has done it every single year of his career. That's why he's one of the greatest players that's ever played the game. Can he bring that X factor to Manchester United? That will be interesting, and I wouldn't put it past him.
It's uplifting, isn't it? You know, I mean, I've written down it, impact signing, feel good factor. You know, all of these things. I know all of us looking at it and thinking, okay, well, you know, why have they not gone for, you know, I don't know, Haaland or Lewandowski? But maybe they might arrive at the club in the future. Because this is a stepping stone signing. You have to. They're looking back to look to the future, and they're bringing him in, and they know what he's about. They know what he's about, and you're quite right. A player coming into the dressing room like that, everyone loves that. It raises the bar. It inspires the rest of the players. The deal wasn't been done yet, though. By the way, we did hear a rumour that there was paperwork and stuff to be achieved and to get across the line. But once he turns up, I know he's only going to improve Manchester United, and you can see it. Solskjaer there is absolutely buzzing over it.
So when he does arrive, then when it is made 100% official, and they've made that sort of, you know, with all the paperwork done, what will this mean for the likes of Edison Cavani, Anthony Martial, or even Mason Greenwood? Because presuming if Cristiano Ronaldo takes on that central striking role, it would hinder in terms of the minutes of Mason Greenwood in his preferred position as well, Martin Keown.
Well, look, yeah, but they're going to learn off, aren't they, the great man? And then you've got Cavani there as well, another exceptional athlete for somebody so late in his footballing life. So you learn off these players, and it's up to the manager then to manage it. Greenwood can play in wide position. You've still got Martial, you've still got Rashford to come back. You know, so the competition for places, they should all be licking their lips. Then the manager has the difficulty of actually putting that jigsaw piece together, finding the right minutes, the right moments for each player. But that's a wealth of talent. And if you think about, you know, I see a lot of Sir Alex Ferguson in Solskjaer. We talked about Greenwood and not playing for England. Ryan Giggs only played 64 times for Wales. He played 996 games for Manchester United. You know, that he doesn't want him to play for England. He wants him to play for Manchester United. And he's going to manage this thing as he seems fit going forward. And I think if you think when you played against Manchester United, look to the bench, you know, you've got Sheringham playing, you've got Cole, Solskjaer, York. There was an array of talent to choose from then, and he wants it now. He wants that firepower. But to take you all the way back to our earlier discussion, if he doesn't get midfield right, they won't win the league. But I'll tell you what, they're going to have a big say in who does win it, and it's going to be exciting to watch because it's a return to their past, really. They've got Galacticos now in this team, and they've got very good youngsters. So it's a lovely mix. It's just about the manager getting that quality through and winning games and getting the right balance for the team.
Yeah, it's the wealth of talent, attacking talents that they have is a good problem to have for Ole. But I don't know if you've ever been in this position, Martin O'Neill, throughout your managerial career. I just wonder how tricky of a situation is it for Ole, and considering that Cristiano is a big character, he's a big personality, and at times he does act a bit like a second manager, giving instructions. We saw it particularly with Portugal rather than with club football, of course, how he, at the touchline, you know, just screaming out instructions to his teammates. And Ole being his former teammate as well, can that grey area be a bit tricky for a manager?
I think that Solskjaer's long enough now in the job to assume control. I think that would be okay. That should not stop Cristiano Ronaldo from issuing instructions right, left and centre during the course of the game. He's done that for quite some considerable years. He's not going to stop it now. But I actually believe that a small, just a quiet word in his ear by Solskjaer saying, Cristiano, I know you're a fantastic player and you've been one of the great players of all time, but excuse me, I'm actually managing this team. And could you keep quiet now for about 15 or 20 minutes? And I think that would help. Will Ronaldo do that? Possibly not, but at least you've had the word with him, you know. And of course, what Cristiano Ronaldo will want to play every single game. That's the point. And it's not as if he's arrived as a crock where he only plays 3 or 4 games. He's kept himself in fantastic condition. One of the reasons why he's such a wonderful footballer as well, too, because of that longevity. But I take your point. Entirely, Michelle, really about it. But I think that Solskjaer should be able to handle it. If he is unable to handle that, he probably shouldn't be managing Manchester United. But I think he has. Where I'm talking about his managerial nous, his ability as a man manager. This is something, because you talk about all those players that we've mentioned who are not even in the starting lineup at this minute. There'll be 1 or 2 players definitely fall by the wayside, no question about it. I think that, for instance, the lad Van de Beek, who's come in here, it doesn't seem to be figuring at all. And when he has played for Manchester United, he hasn't done anything at all to justify his position. So 1 or 2 might fall by the wayside justifiably in that sense, but there'll be 1 or 2 players playing who have played very, very well, and who might get left out for 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe lose a little bit of confidence because of that. Those are the type of things I think that you have to manage. You mentioned Greenwood. I'd still see Greenwood at this minute, in terms of his development, as very much a player playing wide-ish on the right-hand side, a strong position where he can see the game, he can step inside, he knows that they come on the edge of the penalty area, he can go either way. I think those things there, and Martin mentioned it earlier, can learn from the great Ronaldo as well too. So I think all of those things are really positive. How Solskjaer manages, I think it's a nice position to be in. And actually, to tell you the truth, Michelle, there's 1 or 2 players that you never generally like at the football club, and that's the great time that you're able to tell them, by the way, you're not on the side. I think that's the lovely thing about him. And once or twice when I was in my managerial time, I loved telling the players I didn't like that they weren't playing.
Just another one on Jesse Lingard's made the England squad, by the way, and he hasn't yet played for Man United this season. Just another one to throw in the mix of players available for Manchester United.
Yeah, to say they have a wealth of talent is probably an understatement at the moment. Just a final one from me, just on this topic. Will Cristiano Ronaldo bring Manchester United a trophy? Martin Keown, I think that's the question everyone wants to know.
Well, that's the next stage, isn't it? That's the elephant in the room for Solskjaer, having not won a trophy. That's the narrative this year. That's what it's about. They're going big in that same style. As I said, Sir Alex Ferguson would always, if they didn't win something, they'd come back with big signings. So they're winning that war off the pitch. Now they've got to do that on it. Only time will tell us, but they're piecing together, piece by piece, a really strong squad.
Martin O'Neill, what do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Can he bring a trophy to Manchester United? There's no reason why he shouldn't do. Although Juventus did not win the league last season, I think it's the first time in maybe a decade or something, I guess, here where they weren't involved. But Cristiano Ronaldo is just a wonderful, wonderful talent, and I think that he'll bring everything that Solskjaer wants to the table for Manchester United, that elusive championship. That would be fantastic. I bet you that's exactly what Ronaldo's thinking anyway. I can win this title for Man United, and I'm sure he'll think that there right until his last game for United.